Welcome back to Coin Market Insider, the place where rare coins, hidden treasures, and incredible collector discoveries come to life. Every coin has a story, but some coins go far beyond everyday pocket change. They carry history, unique minting details, fascinating production backgrounds, and in some cases, astonishing values that have made collectors around the world search through their coin jars with renewed excitement. Today's video features two famous United States coins that many people have seen before but very few have ever examined closely. The first is the 1966 Roosevelt dime, a coin from a unique period in American history when the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks to discourage coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. While most examples are worth only face value, certain rare varieties and exceptional condition specimens have sold for hundreds, or even thousands of dollars, making this seemingly ordinary dime an exciting coin for collectors. Our second coin is the 2002 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent, struck at the Denver Mint. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny that millions of Americans have used in everyday transactions. However, collectors are always searching for unusual minting errors, rare die varieties, and extraordinary high-grade examples that can transform an everyday cent into an incredibly valuable collectible. Stories of rare pennies selling for extraordinary prices continue to inspire collectors to inspect every coin they find, proving that hidden treasures can sometimes be sitting right in your pocket. Throughout this video, we'll explore the history behind these coins, their beautiful designs, minting process, collector demand, potential errors, rarity, and the market values that make them so interesting in today's numismatic world. We'll also separate myths from reality, discuss what actually makes certain examples valuable, and explain exactly what collectors look for when determining whether a coin deserves a place in a high-end collection. If you've ever wondered whether an old dime or a simple penny could be worth far more than its face value, you're in the right place. Make sure to watch until the very end because some of the details we'll cover could completely change the way you look at the coins in your own collection. Without wasting any more time, let's begin today's video and take a look at our first coin. Our first coin is the fascinating 1966 Roosevelt dime from the United States. Although millions of Americans use this coin every day, it represents one of the most unusual periods in U.S. mint history. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 10-cent coin, but collectors know that the story behind it is far more interesting than its small size suggests. The 1966 Roosevelt dime was issued during a time when the United States was experiencing a nationwide coin shortage. During the mid-1960s, many people were saving coins instead of spending them because the value of silver had increased dramatically. To reduce hoarding and encourage coins to remain in circulation, the U.S. Mint made an extraordinary decision. From 1965 through 1967, mint marks were removed from circulating coins. That means a genuine 1966 Roosevelt dime does not normally carry a mint mark, making it instantly recognizable as part of this unique 3-year period in American coinage history. The coin honors President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of the most influential leaders in American history. His portrait appears on the obverse with the word, Liberty, surrounding the design, along with the national motto, "In God We Trust," and the date 1966. Roosevelt's image was chosen not only because of his leadership during difficult times, but also because of his strong support for the fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign. That connection is the reason the dime became the denomination selected to honor his legacy. Turning the coin over, the reverse features a torch standing proudly in the center, representing liberty and enlightenment. On one side of the torch is an olive branch, symbolizing peace, while the oak branch on the opposite side represents strength and independence. Surrounding these classic symbols are the inscriptions, "United States of America, 1 dime," and the motto, "E pluribus unum." Even decades after its release, this elegant design remains one of the most recognizable in American coin collecting. The 1966 Roosevelt dime was struck using a copper nickel-clad composition rather than the 90% silver used before 1965. This change was introduced because rising silver prices made it impractical for circulating coins to continue containing precious metal. As a result, The 1966 issue marks an important chapter in the evolution of modern U.S. coinage and reflects how economic conditions can influence the coins we use every day. More than 2 billion examples of the 1966 Roosevelt dime were produced, making it a common date in circulated condition. However, experienced collectors know that mintage alone does not determine value. What truly matters is the coin's condition, strike quality, surface preservation, luster, eye appeal, and whether it contains any rare minting errors or die varieties. A sharply struck coin with brilliant original surfaces is always more desirable than one that has heavy wear, scratches, or damage. Collectors also search for unusual errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and other minting mistakes that escaped quality control. These error coins are much scarcer than regular circulation pieces and can command impressive premiums depending on their rarity and condition. Finding one in pocket change is uncommon, but it continues to motivate collectors to inspect every dime they receive. Another factor that significantly affects value is professional grading. Coins certified by leading grading services and awarded exceptionally high mint state grades are often worth many times more than average examples. Because very few coins survive in flawless condition, top population specimens are especially sought after by advanced collectors competing for registry sets. Many beginners overlook the 1966 Roosevelt dime because it lacks a mint mark, but knowledgeable collectors appreciate it for exactly that reason. It represents a remarkable moment in U.S. mint history when mint marks were intentionally omitted to address a national coin shortage. This historical significance gives the coin an enduring place in American numismatics. According to the value you've chosen for this video, this particular 1966 Roosevelt dime is valued at around $60. It's important to remember that such values generally apply only to coins with exceptional preservation, notable errors, or other collectible characteristics, rather than to every 1966 dime found in circulation. So, if you ever come across a 1966 Roosevelt dime in an old coin collection, a family coin jar, or even in your spare change, don't spend it without taking a closer look. Examine the details carefully, check for unusual minting characteristics, preserve the coin properly, and consider having it evaluated if it appears to be in outstanding condition. Sometimes, what seems like an ordinary 10-cent coin can become a fascinating collectible with a story that stretches back more than half a century. Now that we've explored the remarkable history, design, rarity, and collector appeal of the 1966 Roosevelt dime, let's move on to our next coin and discover another fascinating piece that has captured the attention of coin collectors around the world. Now it's time to move on to our second and final coin, the 2002 Lincoln Memorial Cent from the United States. This is a coin that millions of Americans have handled without giving it a second thought. It has been used in grocery stores, vending machines, parking meters, and everyday purchases across the country. Yet beneath its ordinary appearance lies a fascinating story that continues to capture the attention of coin collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic experts around the world. The 2002 Lincoln Memorial Cent was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark located beneath the date on the obverse of the coin. Denver has produced billions of Lincoln cents over the years, and the 2002 issue was created during a period when the Lincoln Memorial design had already become one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. Although countless examples entered circulation, collectors know that not every coin leaves the mint exactly the same. Small differences created during production can sometimes transform an ordinary penny into an extraordinary collectible. On the front of the coin, you'll find the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln became the first real historical figure to appear regularly on a circulating U.S. coin when the Lincoln Cent debuted in 1909. Around his portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," the year 2002, and the D mint mark, showing that this particular coin was produced in Denver. Lincoln remains one of the most respected presidents in American history, remembered for preserving the Union during the Civil War and for his commitment to ending slavery. His image has appeared on the U.S. Cent for well over a century, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. Turning the coin over, the reverse displays the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. If you look closely at the memorial, you can even see a tiny representation of the Lincoln statue inside the building. This remarkable level of detail makes the Lincoln Memorial cent unique among circulating coins. The reverse also features the inscriptions, United States of America, 1 cent, and the national motto, E pluribus unum. For decades, this reverse design symbolized American history and became familiar to generations of collectors before it was replaced in 2009. The 2002 Lincoln cent was struck primarily from a copper-plated zinc composition. While it appears to be made of solid copper, the coin actually has a zinc core covered by a thin layer of copper. This change in composition was introduced years earlier to reduce production costs while maintaining the traditional appearance of the American penny. Understanding the materials used in a coin is important because different compositions can affect weight, color, durability, and collector interest. Billions of 2002 Lincoln cents were produced, making them extremely common in circulation. Because of this enormous mintage, the vast majority of these coins are worth only their face value. However, experienced collectors never judge a coin solely by its mintage. They understand that rarity can be created by condition, striking quality, minting errors, die varieties, and other unusual characteristics that occur during production. One of the biggest reasons collectors examine 2002 Lincoln cents so carefully is the possibility of discovering valuable mint errors. These can include doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, die chips, misaligned dies, and dramatic strike-through errors. Each of these mistakes occurs during the minting process and creates coins that are significantly scarcer than ordinary circulation pieces. Since every error is different, some become highly desirable collectibles and may sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their rarity and condition. Condition is another critical factor in determining value. A heavily circulated penny with scratches, discoloration, or wear usually has very little collector premium. On the other hand, a coin that has never entered circulation and still displays brilliant original mint luster can attract much greater interest. Professional grading services carefully evaluate a coin's surfaces, strike, eye appeal, and preservation before assigning a grade. The highest mint state grades are extremely difficult to achieve because even tiny contact marks can lower a coin's final score. Collectors also appreciate the 2002 Lincoln cent because it represents the closing years of the famous Lincoln Memorial reverse design. Only a few years later, the United States Mint introduced the Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009, followed by the Union Shield design in 2010. As a result, many collectors enjoy assembling complete Lincoln Memorial sets, and high-quality examples from every year, including 2002 remain an important part of those collections. Stories of valuable pennies continue to inspire collectors around the world. While most pennies are ordinary, history has shown that rare varieties, major minting errors, and exceptional condition examples can achieve astonishing prices at auction. Because of this, many experienced collectors carefully inspect every Lincoln cent they receive instead of spending it immediately. One remarkable discovery can completely change the value of an otherwise ordinary-looking coin. For this video's featured example, the estimated market value is presented as up to $10 million. Such an extraordinary value would apply only to an exceptionally rare and unique specimen with extraordinary characteristics, not to standard 2002 cents found in everyday circulation. That possibility, however remote, is exactly what keeps the excitement of coin collecting alive. The hope of discovering something extraordinary among ordinary pocket change is what motivates millions of collectors to keep searching. So before you spend your next penny, take a few moments to examine it carefully. Look at the date, confirm the mint mark, study the design under good lighting, and check for unusual features that could indicate a rare variety or mint error. Even if your coin isn't worth a fortune, you'll gain a deeper appreciation for the craftsmanship, history, and stories behind one of America's most familiar coins. With that, we've reached the end of today's fascinating coin journey. From the historic 1966 Roosevelt dime to the intriguing 2002 Lincoln Memorial cent, we've explored their history, designs, minting process, collector appeal, rarity, and the factors that can make certain examples especially valuable. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Coin Market Insider for more rare coin discoveries, hidden treasures, market updates, and collecting tips. Also, leave a comment below telling us which coin surprised you the most and whether you've ever found an interesting coin in your own collection. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.